So I definitely understand how everyone wants to spend a few $100 on a wireless surveillance camera system that records their DVR 24/7, but check it out. There's something way cooler for a lot less money. It says 35 to 40 bucks, free shipping on eBay. It doesn't record to a DVR, right? But you can watch it on your phone still from anywhere in the world. You can record video clips to your phone too if you want. It'll send you a motion alert notifications, all that kind of cool stuff. $35 to $40, free shipping on eBay all day. The reason I got it, I already got surveillance cameras. I don't need another camera. Even though the quality of this is great, the video is great. It has two-way audio. That's something not a lot of surveillance cameras have, right?
Want a treat? Want to get a treat? Want to get a treat, boy? You want to get a treat, Dexter? Yeah, oh, I bet he does. I bet he wants to get a treat.
This has a microphone in it, so you can actually listen to your baby crying, listen to my dogs barking, etc. And it has a speaker in the bottom, so you can yell at your baby. I don't know, you're probably not going to yell at your baby, but I want to yell at my dogs, right? I'm not saying I want to, but if they're being bad or something, how cool would it be if I'm not home? I'd be like, hey, stop it, you're being bad, right? So that was my idea with this. Problem with that is the speaker in the bottom is extremely quiet. It's not loud. It might get the dog's attention if they're right next to it and they just go, hey, what's that? And they sniff the camera a couple times. That's as much as I got out of them as a reaction. But not enough volume to actually yell at them and make them stop doing something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart and MacGyver this up and hook it up to like a boombox or something that's louder that I could actually yell at the dogs through and we'll get their attention. And then we're going to set some cameras up in the living room. I'm going to go down the street or something in the car and yell at them talk to them through the camera and see what their reaction is. Should be interesting. Let's do it. So we're going to take this camera apart. Just a note for anyone interested, it does come with a little stand that sets up on a table or you can mount it to a wall. So it's got everything you need. But we're going to just pull it apart. Two little Phillips screws in the back and it should pop apart. Okay, so the only wire going to the front here is for the microphone. I guess the microphone's coming off. Might as well do that. We'll just put that back. So separated that. So then the speaker's in the bottom here. This tiny little thing. Looks like it slides right out. There's that. And then here's the two wires we need. That's all we really need to mess with this. Now normally you would never hook up a speaker level something to an input of something else, but since this is so low, I may actually even try to measure it real quick. The volt is probably actually line level. The voltage coming out of here is actually probably considered line level. So we're going to be fine, I can tell you right now. I have some dog toenail clippers sitting right here. Let's see if we can cut the wire with those. Oh, it did it. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull this main board out of here to give us some more slack. So you can see where our speaker wires plug in the back here on this little connector. And to make this real easy, I'm just going to actually pull this out of here and then we'll solder this up and put it back together. There we go. So that's all we need here. I hate working with these tiny little thin wires, you know, so at least having this much to work with will make it a little easier. I grabbed my two different kinds of solder. This is Kester solder. This is the best solder right here, but it doesn't have flux in it. Depending on what this wire turns out to be, we may need some kind of flux in it, so this is just some crappy solder with flux, which works better on dirty, crappy wire. Now to strip something as thin as this, can't use wire strippers. That ain't gonna do it, so you're just gonna have to go at it with a razor blade or something. You know, that's why I said this wire is so thin. So not ideal, but we got some wire to work with here. I mean, there's nothing to this stuff. I hate that. So like I said, I'm just making this out of stuff that's laying around. I'm not kidding. This is some little multi-tool. I'm going to cut the wire off of this to use. I got proper wire, I'm sure. I got instrument cable. I got all that stuff. But this is pretty hot line level come out of here. Technically speaker level, so we don't need any shielding or nothing. Went for the flux core solder because we don't know what kind of crappy wire we're working with here. Some aluminum crap wire. Yeah, even the flux core doesn't take to it too well. That's what I'm saying. When you get this crappy wire, man, stuff's coated with its aluminum, crappy aluminum, coated with something. So now I just gotta poke a hole in the back to stick the wire through. Hole's a little bit too big, but you know, that'll work. And ideally, I'd like to hot glue. Oh, look, kind of fits in there. Might be able to hot glue this in there or something, you know. Put a little strain relief on it. But I'll connect right back to the board right here. Plug it back in now. Any second. There it is. Alright, can reassemble it now. So I don't want this wire really hanging, you know, to get pulled out. So I could have did something cleaner. If I would have drilled the right size hole, I could have just hot glued it. Or stuffed this in there more and hot glued it in. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to tape this to it. You know, I don't really care. I'm a form over function person. As long as we get it working the way I want, I'll be happy. There we go. As long as it doesn't get pulled off easily, that's all I care about, right? So now we have this end of the wire. Now if we were just using an amplifier or something, I mean, we could plug this right into an input. But I believe I'm going to end up using a boombox. So inevitably, we need a 3.5 millimeter to plug into an aux, right? What I got a 1/4 inch connector. I got a bunch of these for guitar stuff and audio stuff. And I got a 1/4 inch to 3.5 millimeter adapter. So I think for now we're just going to hook the wire up to this 1/4 inch. I'm going to hold it in there for a bit. Make sure we're heating that wire up too. There we go. All right, I think we're ready for a test run.
Bruce, what are you doing, boy? What are you doing, Bruce? So I'm gonna drive down the street now. I got the cameras rolling. I'm gonna talk to him and see what they do. Dexter, come here, boy. What are you doing, boy? Bruce, come here, Bruce. They're not doing anything. Lucy, what are you doing? Come here. Dexter, hi, boy. Hi, Dexter, boy. What are you doing, boy? Lift the camera a little bit. Come on. Come on, we gotta make a YouTube video. Dexter, boy. Lucy. We'll go outside. We'll go outside. We'll go outside, Dexter. Dexter, we'll go outside. What are you doing, Bruce? What are you doing, Bruce? Come here, Bruce. Bruce.
So that's definitely not what I expected. I would have expected them to go up and investigate it and sniff it at least. But hey, that's what we got. Dexter was apparently the only one even remotely interested in it. I still think it will work for what I had in mind. Like if I'm gone and I leave Lucy and she sometimes, I mean, very extremely rarely, but if she gets really bored, she might start trying to tear something up. You know, if I just kind of turn that on and kind of yell at her through it, like, hey, stop that. I'm pretty sure she'll stop because she's usually like looking out the window and checking to see if I'm there when she's being bad. I've noticed from these cameras, it's kind of funny. So she knows. But otherwise, yeah, probably they don't seem to care. It's really weird. I would have definitely expected a lot more out of them.